Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, and here we stand, folks. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
How's it going, boys and girls? Welcome, welcome. That's right, you're listening to The ProBoh Show, coming to you live at a different hour. Jeez Louise, it's confusing. I get it. If you're a live listener, viewer, participator, when we're not in the official studio, gets a little confusing. So for those of you watching live, it's currently 1 p.m. Central European time. How's it going? We'll be back to our regular time at 8:30 in the morning Central European time tomorrow. But today is a bank holiday in Spain, so I thought we'd do the show a little later than usual. Firstly, a big hello to everyone who's joining me live in the chat. If you're one of those angelic podcast listeners and you want to participate, it's very easy, guys. You go to twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and there you'll find me with The Bridge, Nessa, Vero, Min the Merciless, and all the people who are not talking but currently watching. How you doing, guys? Let's go, says Nessa. All right, ready for anything, says The Bridge. Did I leave that out of the intro? Oh my God. All right, guys. So what's coming up in today's show? Let me tell you. I asked 100 humans to name a symptom. Name a symptom that would lead you to say, I think I'm coming down with something. I think I'm getting ill. And we'll find out what they answered in the second part of the show. Also in the second part of the show, we look at a missing Australian woman and something lost on American Airlines in Complete the News. But all that fun, guys, coming up in the second half. In the first half, we've yet to get to our unpopular opinion today. Ooh, it's a juicy one. It's a juicy unpopular opinion today. And we'll go through that. But not right now, guys. I'm here, you're here. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Rob, if I can keep track, anyone can. True story. True story, Bridge. I'm a ProBoh lurker, says Vero. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's nice to see you here on a ProBoh show, Vero. So let's take a look at some news today. Some more news from the world of AI. DeepMind pioneer issues a warning on the dangers of AI autonomy. This is coming from the Times in the UK. Mustafa Suleyman, co-founder of DeepMind, has warned against the dangers of AI autonomy, terming it a fundamental boundary we should not cross due to safety issues. DeepMind, sold to Google in 2014, has been working on creating artificial general intelligence to tackle global problems. There are concerns that the recursive self-improvement necessary for AGI could result in AI becoming dangerously smarter than humans. Okay, so we all know the difference, right, between AI, artificial intelligence, and AGI, right? We all know that? I think we do. If you've listened to this show before, you do anyway. AGI is intelligence, artificial intelligence, or computer-generated intelligence that is comparable to the intelligence of a human being. Comparable or surpassing the intelligence of a human being. And DeepMind, or certainly Mustafa Suleyman, the co-founder of DeepMind, is saying that autonomy, AI autonomy, should be something we should all be worried about. And which is weird because I follow a lot of AI news, as you all know, and it seems like the one thing everyone's pushing for is autonomous AI. Are you all scared? Is anybody out there scared? One thing that is worth mentioning here, in this interview, Suleyman, who developed DeepMind, he did say that a lot of the warnings about AI are hyperbolic. You know what I mean? Things that we shouldn't really be worrying about. But it is worth taking note that he worries about autonomous AI. Skynet, basically. How are we doing? My issues with time are quite something else, says the Bridge. Hey, I'm impressed. You made it here, Bridge. What else? We're going to take a little look at China. I fell into a Chinese... hang on, that's going to sound weird. I fell into a rabbit hole around China today when I was preparing for the show. I found a piece of news. Well, actually, it was a video baby product producers in China, so people, the companies that produce baby products, are being forced to diversify as birth rate plunges. So basically, baby products like formula, the milk, the fake milk, nappies or diapers if you're from the US, and they're being forced to diversify and create other products because Chinese birth rate is falling so rapidly. But what does that mean for the rest of the world? Well, I found this amazing article by scmp.com, and apparently for the first time ever, India has overtaken China as the most populous nation. According to the United Nations, India has recently overtaken China as the world's most populous country. This shift is largely due to China's one-child policy introduced in the 1980s, which resulted in a significant decrease in the birth rate, leading to China's first population decline in 6 decades last year. I find this interesting to blame the one-child policy, because declining birth rates are happening in all developed countries. What do you think about that? Do you think, certainly it plays an impact, but is it the number one factor? A lot of people place education as number one when they're placing blame on them on declining birth rates, right? Which is weird to me. As a man in his middle age that has remained childless and unmarried, right? I always got the sense of trying to be welcome to a club. Hey, guy. You need to have a kid. You need to have a kid. It's the best thing in the world. And then you ask parents, if you could pick your ideal day, what would it be? Never includes the children. I just want to sit down and play video games. That's my life right now. Why would I? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's what I say. Let's see what Nessa says. Nessa says, as always, a little scared of where we humans take AI, not so much AI itself. Yeah, and then I got butterfingers with the buttons. Hopefully you won't hear that in the edit of the show. Turkey going through the biggest election in the last 100 years, Rob. Allow me to talk about AI for the 70th show in the row. Yeah, I don't want to cover the Turkish elections, just like I tend not to cover American or British elections. There is a method to that madness I will explain someday. The bridge. Maybe the way to go is making larger, more mature nappies, says the bridge. It's happening everywhere, not only China. This is from Nessa. Who wants to bring children here into this world? The data would suggest that the world is more abundant now. We live better lives now than ever before in our history. Obviously, depending on which country you're being born into. But, average education, literacy, child mortality, age of death, we're in every single key metric that matters. The modern world is much better than it ever was before. And I find it interesting there what Nessa said about, I'm scared of where humans will take AI and not so much about AI itself. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there is, do you guys know the Drake equation? It's an equation that exists to hypothesize how many alien civilizations. Wait, I'm going to circle back round to AI, right? To hypothesize or to try and guess or figure out how many alien civilizations there are. Okay, there is a counter theory. I can't recall off the top of my head what that is right now. That suggests, well, if it's true that there are that many alien civilizations, why have none of them ever reached out and made contact with planet Earth? Which is the Fermi paradox. Thank you, Min. Thank you. Jeez, Louise, can Min get... yes, he can, because I'm in control today.
Nivelazo.
Thanks, Min. So the Fermi paradox. So if it's true, then there is a paradox there, because at some point you'd think we'd find evidence of another civilization, right? Well, one of the offshoot theories of this is called the Great Filter, which suggests that at some point in every advanced civilization, something happens to wipe that civilization out of existence. And people are starting to wonder now, is AI, is artificial intelligence the humans or our civilization's great filter? Is this the thing that's finally gonna end humanity? I think that's a rather dramatic stance to take, I'll be honest. I really don't believe that. But you never know. You never know. I mean, as long as kind of nuclear arms exist, I don't think I honestly don't think it's going to be AI that wipes us out. I mean, really, it's up to us, right? How we take this technology, how we use it, what we do with it. That's the big issue. That's the big issue. Can we trust humans? I mean, going back to what Nessa said, she's not worried about AI, but what humans will do with AI. Can we really trust humans to work in the benefit of every other human? I mean, we are a greedy species, aren't we? We are a greedy species. Okay, and then finally, I just want to talk about, because on Friday's show, I mentioned Elon Musk's new CEO. Do you remember that? And I postulated, thanks to I think it was a Washington Post article, I postulated it was a lady by the name of Linda Yaccarino. She is the former chief advertising officer at NBC Universal and Comcast. Well, since that show, it was confirmed. It was confirmed. I read a report today, again by the Times. Linda Yaccarino, the newly appointed CEO of Twitter, expressed her enthusiasm for the position and support for Elon Musk's vision of the platform. She actually wrote a tweet, or released a tweet. I've long been inspired by your vision, directed at Elon Musk. I've long been inspired by your vision to create a brighter future. I'm excited to help bring this vision to Twitter and transform this business together, she said. She said user feedback was vital to building Twitter 2.0 together. But she's quite a controversial figure, friends. She's quite controversial. It's like liberals hate her, and as do the right, as do the extreme right. That everybody hates her. Like, it's funny because like Elon has carved this little space for himself among the extreme right wing, right? So let's dive into why both sides. It's horrible to talk like that about humanity, right? That we are a partisan people. We're not. We never used to be. But the media is making us this. Let's bear that in mind, folks. Hang on, wait. Before we deep dive into them, Min's written quite a lot here. He says, if anything, I think multiplanetary civilizations might have horrible results. We can't keep peace for 200 years with people 2 hours away because they speak a different language or think about a different god. What if we lived on Mars for 200 years? How much will Mars and Earth like each other and feel connected? If a war between two planets starts, will it just end civilization on both? Wow, great flaming.
ProBoh approved.
A great little thought experiment there. You know, I completely agree. I was talking to someone this weekend, right? But not with regards to like Earth colonies, but with regards to Earthlings and our complete hatred for anything we consider unrecognizable to life as it should be. For example, like how grossed out are we by cockroaches? Now imagine an alien civilization visits one day. We find cockroaches just the weirdest, most horrible things. And they are amazing animals. A cockroach can lose its head, right? And it won't die. It will eventually die of hunger because it has no mouth. That's an amazing creature. It will survive a nuclear apocalypse. Cockroaches are way better evolved to deal with conditions on planet Earth than humans. I mean, it's their planet. Yet we are disgusted by them. So imagine an alien civilization. You know, maybe they have an exoskeleton and 6 legs like a cockroach. Are we really going to be welcoming to them? Maybe the great filter is our own goddamn prejudice. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just a thought experiment I thought I'd share with you that I had this weekend. Nessa, you never know, Rob, but maybe humans will end the human race before AI does. Or AI puts a little sense into us. Who knows? That's the, you're going to get that.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Yeah, we can only hope we're a little more sensible than we've proved to be in the past. Let's put it that way. Okay, where were we? Elon Musk's new CEO. So why do both sides hate her? Well, this is a little article from Business Today. Again, guys, all these links you can find on my Patreon. If you're a member there, you can, or if you're not a member there, you should be, because you can deep dive these topics a little further. So, here we go. Many Twitter users were quick to criticize Yaccarino. This is a direct quote from Business Today, by the way. Were quick to criticize Yaccarino, citing her connections to Donald Trump and right-wing extremists on the platform. In 2018, Yaccarino was appointed to the President's Council on Sports, Fitness and Nutrition during Donald Trump's presidency. Nutrition and Donald Trump are words that shouldn't be in the same sentence. Do you remember when he hosted that basketball team or baseball team? I can't remember. And he just bought a load of fast food. Yeah, we've got the finest American food. We've got hamburgers. Anyway, she also reportedly follows a number of accounts that are associated to right-wing extremist views. So you're thinking to yourself now, so why is the right-wing element on Twitter so against her? You know, she seems like the least woke person on the planet. I hate using that term. We're going to do a show on woke pretty soon, and I'll explain my feelings on why I hate that term. But, you know, to use the vernacular the right might use, why do they consider her too woke? Well, on the other hand, some conservatives were upset by Yaccarino's past working with the Biden administration on a COVID-19 vaccination campaign, as well as her executive chairmanship of the World Economic Forum, which most people like. If you follow right-wing conspiracy, it's the Illuminati. Which, here we go, and it continues, which has been the subject of many right-wing conspiracy theories. Who knows where she lands, folks? But I'll tell you something, it's refreshing to see someone in the public eye right now that hasn't taken some kind of a public stand on where they stand politically. You know, hopefully the best case scenario here is that she falls neatly in the middle of both camps, and she is, you know, like the vast majority of the silent majority of us that, you know, have decided not to care. Not to take a partisan stance, but maybe take the best out of both sides. And I get it. Me saying that is going to make a lot of the people listening, who are either super on the right or super on the left, it's going to make you angry. Well, guess what, friends? I don't care. Your tears are delicious, and your anger only makes me more powerful.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Do you know what I'm saying, guys? People care too much nowadays. Let's see. Min says, naked monkey is weirded out by the most standard insect build. True story, Min. Well, he does look like a carrot, says Nessa. Maybe she thought Donald Trump was a mascot. You know, like, we could criticize Biden as well. If you are on the right listening to this, just thinking, oh, this liberal woke guy. Oh, you know, in many aspects, people would consider me woke. That's fine. I don't mind. Or a socialist. Yeah, I have quite a lot of socialist beliefs too. Yeah, no, if you want to hate me, right, hate me. But left, bear in mind that I am completely a capitalist pig when it comes to tax season. All right, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to get into today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay, what is an unpopular opinion? An unpopular opinion is a brain fart, un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental, una rayada, as MJ Symbol once told me. And today's brain fart, as always, I share it on my social media. Overwhelmingly, you guys said true. To quite a controversial one, and I got a few messages because I think people were a little bit morally outraged by having to type true. So, here we go. Today's unpopular opinion is this. It is normal to judge people based on their appearance. Nowhere in there do I justify whether it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is it is normal. It is normal to judge someone based on their appearance. Ooh, did I get some messages? Mira said, look, it's human nature to make snap judgments, but that doesn't make it right. It's crucial to get to know someone beyond their appearance. Everyone has a story, but Mira did right true. Greg says, in the military, appearance often equates to discipline and order, but in everyday life, no, it's not fair. You can't know a person's worth by their looks. Thanks for that, Greg. Lily says, people often judge me because I dress a little wild, but hey, that's me. Shouldn't we celebrate uniqueness and not judge it? Everyone's their own kind of beautiful, says Lily. Raj says, from a logical perspective, judging someone based solely on appearance lacks critical data. It's a shortcut that often leads to error in coding. In coding as in life, I say get the full picture first. Okay, all right, there we go. It's definitely normal, says Min. Thank you. That's the first thing we do, says Nessa. Assumptions are natural. In many cases, help us put less load on our brains. Not to say you should always act on them or interact differently with someone. That's a great point, man. Again, you're going to get your
ProBoh approved.
You're going to get your ProBoh approved. Take that home. So let's see what the poor endangered slave elves have prepared as in terms of a pro and con argument to this. In the pro column, evolutionary psychology suggests that it's natural for humans to make quick assessments based on visual cues as a survival mechanism. This can extend to judging people based on appearance. Appearance is often the first thing we notice about someone and can influence our initial perceptions, whether we like it or not. For example, cleanliness and appropriate attire might suggest respect for oneself and for others. And finally, in the pro column, appearance can provide non-verbal cues about a person's lifestyle, preferences, or self-perception, which can contribute to our understanding of them. I think those are pretty, standard arguments, which I would consider to hold quite a bit of truth. Let's move on to the con arguments. Limited information. Judging based on appearance only provides superficial information and can lead to misjudgments. It does not account for a person's character, abilities, or experiences. Judging by appearance can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and biases, leading to discrimination and inequity. Everyone has the right to express themselves through their appearance without being judged unfairly. Focusing on appearance rather than personal qualities can devalue individuality and personal freedom. And finally, if we base our judgment solely on appearance, I never said that. Never said solely on appearance, but let's continue. Elves, you will be punished. We might miss opportunities to empathize with others' experiences and perspectives, limiting our ability to connect on a deeper level. All right. The bridge says it's normal. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or as it should be, but definitely normal. Okay, so here we go. We've got very little time left before the break. Okay, let me tell you something, friends. I think it is normal. Not only do I think is it normal, I think it's useful. I'm going to get some hate for this. It is useful. Look, have you ever interviewed anyone for a job? There are two kind of candidates, right? There's one that's going to come up to you wearing a suit or being well-dressed or looking, fitting of the position that they're in, give you a firm handshake, and you've already made a snap decision on that person. And then there is another who maybe arrived 5 minutes late. Or let's not bring tardiness into it. Or we'll look a little disheveled. Maybe not give quite as strong a handshake, and you'll make a snap decision on that too. Yeah, and not only that, we also use this human quirk, or this quirk of humanity, to make base snap judgments to our own benefit in terms of clan mentality, right? When I was a kid, I was really into heavy metal music, and I'd wear my tight black jeans and my band t-shirt and my leather jacket, just so other members of my clan would feel comfortable in approaching me and having a conversation, whether it be about music or anything else. So whereas I think most of us agree, I think it was in the region of 72% agreed that it was normal. It's also quite useful, and we often demonize people who do it, or say that it's abnormal, or we make people feel that they're being inappropriate by making a judgment based on someone's appearance, when I think it's probably one of the most normal things in the world. It identifies us as living beings, and I don't think it's anything we should be ashamed of. Okay, if we're making snap judgments that tilt towards the negative, you know, this person is this because look at that scruffy attire, or short dress, or low cut top, or, you know, I mean, then we move into dangerous territory. But there is certainly communication happening there that we are receiving. I mean, we've all said, right, that our external appearance, we manipulate it to make to express ourselves. Well, the fact that you express yourself and someone receives that message and interprets it, that's normal. That's normal. But guys, I'm not going to tell you if it's normal or not. You're going to tell me. I'm going to post a poll in the chat, and you will tell me, is it normal to judge someone based on their appearance? Guys, you're listening to the ProBoh Show. Friends, so many things you could have been doing on this beautiful, beautiful Monday afternoon. Instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. See you in a second, folks. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. How are you doing? Guys, if you've just tuned in, what do we talk about? Oof, I can't even remember now. Feels like a year ago. Okay, we spoke about the one of the founders or co-founders of DeepMind issuing a warning regarding autonomous AI. AI that can act in its own interests. Autonomous. Yeah. Worrying stuff. And then we actually spoke about some interesting stuff. We spoke about the great filter, the Fermi paradox, the Drake equation. Jeez Louise, you guys are intellectuals today. ProBoh approves. ProBoh approves your efforts, my guys. Then what else did we talk about? We spoke briefly about China. The population declining to an extent where producers of baby products are starting to diversify because of the plunging birth rates, and how in a Times, it was a SCMP article, placing the blame firmly on the one-child policy that China had. That India now has overtaken China as the most populous nation. And then we spent a little bit of time clarifying that yes, indeed, the new CEO of Twitter is Linda Yaccarino. And why both sides, both the left and the right, are angry at a new position. People. And then we went on to today's unpopular opinion, which was, it's normal to judge people based on their appearance. Controversial stuff, my friends. Controversial stuff. Let's see what people were saying in the chat. So Coco joined us. She said, appearance has nothing to do with the goodness behind a person or even their personality, although it can give you a slight idea, at least, of their interests. Yeah, you know what?
ProBoh approved.
Nessa, I think the question is, if we do so, the elves have concentrated more on if it's right or wrong. Or did I get that? Yeah, the elves did, but they're going to be thoroughly punished today, Nessa. Don't you worry. No sunlight for those guys today. The truth is that we still have prejudices based on how someone's looks. Yeah, prejudice, prejudgment is the origin, or is where that word, that portmanteau comes from, right? Prejudgment, prejudice. Yeah, but I mean, I think to a certain degree, when you're only given a certain amount of information upon meeting someone, you're going to make a judgment based on what is in front of you, right? I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't like to see people being raked over the coals. It's an English expression that means, I don't like seeing someone being punished for something that is innately human. And if you dress in a certain way, or for example, I always wear jeans and a t-shirt. Sometimes a band t-shirt, sometimes a superhero t-shirt. When I don't want people to think of me in that way, I will dress differently. Because I'm aware that that's how humans are. Whether we like it or not, it's only natural to make conclusions based on information that we're receiving. And we dress a certain way to express ourselves. And expression isn't just an outward thing. Expression is a message that is to be received. Am I wrong about that? I don't think so. If you express yourself, you can also express yourself by talking, and you're judged on your words. So if you express yourself outwardly based on your appearance, surely we should expect that people are going to make judgments about that too. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's something that happens, and it is completely normal. Interesting. Let's continue. Let's see. Coco says, but the truth is that we still have prejudice based on how someone looks. Totally. I think the danger here is when we see people making assumptions based on, for example, my old boss used to wear a crucifix around his neck. Maybe some people would have taken that in a certain way. Or people who wear religious clothing, or people of a different color, or making assumptions based on someone's gender, or that's when it becomes problematic. When depending on the judgments or the attitude following those judgments, right? And that's when it becomes problematic. But one thing we all have to recognize that this is a normal part of the human experience. This is just our brains are basically pattern matching machines. If you've ever spent time on the grass looking up at the sky and saying, well, look, that one looks like a VW Beetle. That one looks like a hippopotamus. That's just a natural way the brain is a pattern matching machine. Well, let's continue. Hi there, Jarre. Joining us as well. How are you doing? Alone Strong. I don't think it's natural. I think we get programmed by society standards as to how people are supposed to look. Just when we are kids, we didn't see color. Every little girl and boy was our friend. They could have been purple and green. It's not until we get older that we begin to judge, and that's not right. Appearance is important when it comes to your job or certain other occasions. Just because a judgment is... That's a fair point, Alone Strong, and you're going to get...
ProBoh approved.
I guess my counter-argument would be, just because a judgment is made doesn't necessarily mean that that's always a negative judgment, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that. And you could, for example, Alone Strong, I'm a fan of, like I made this comparison earlier, I'm a fan of heavy metal music. So when I see someone walking around with tight black jeans, a band t-shirt, and long hair, I don't judge them in a negative way. Why? Because I used to be part of that, and I used to dress like that too. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of the only people in the office that walks around in a t-shirt and jeans and sneakers, Do people judge me about that? Yeah, probably. They make some snapper judgment about the kind of guy I am. I recognize that, and if I wanted to change that, if I wanted to make a better judgment based on me as a person, I would do that. But you were right, because there are certain things that cannot be helped that people get judged upon. And I think that's much more a case of education and traditional prejudice, right? Bias, bigotry, let's say. That's traditional bigotry. If you look at a woman you think a certain thing, or you look at a person of color and think a certain thing, then that is wrong. That is wrong. But does that make the whole natural process of a human looking at another human and coming to a snap conclusion, whether that's proved right or wrong in the future, independent of that, doesn't make it any less normal, I don't think. I think the conclusions can be wrong or right, but I just think it's a normal thing that human beings do. How are you doing, Eugene? Welcome, welcome. The Bridge says, of course it's normal, but normal doesn't mean it's good. Exactly. Bridge, you're going to get...
ProBoh approved.
Okay, let's see. Nessa, I mean, our looks are the end result of our day-to-day behavior and experiences. For example, our skin will look tired if we don't eat well or we don't wash. So in some way, it is a reflection of our virtues and flaws. True story. Yeah, sorry, I let the alarm go over the break. I scared a bunch of people, my bad, man. It's normal. Appearance is the only information we get to start with, says Jareon. I know a man who, judging by his appearance, we would say he is a delinquent, full of tattoos, piercings, and he dresses not very elegantly. But what he does is adorable, and it shows a huge heart. This is, of course, only an example. An example of the contrary is a young man, very good looking with a face of an angel, and he has killed a mother and his son, if I remember well, by drunk driving. Yeah, Ted Bundy, right? Wasn't Ted Bundy, was it Ted Bundy who was quite an attractive looking man? And people probably, his victims probably saw him and just thought, there's a normal guy, no snap judgments. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, friends. I'm just saying it's completely normal. But yeah, great points there, great points. Min says, I'd say it's natural, alone strong, but that we have a lot more things to judge nowadays. But in nature, if a group met an unknown group of humans, you'd want to make a quick judgment on whether they're cautious and friendly or there to attack you. Interesting point. I mean, that's where this snap judgment comes from. Let's be clear about that. It comes from our ancestral brain. There's a thing. Is that a friend or a foe? Is that going to trigger my fight or flight reaction? Is this something to be concerned about? It's natural and normal. The judgments we then make, that's where problems can occur. But making an initial judgment, and I'm kind of sick of reading, you should not judge people immediately when you know, there's more to the story. We all know that. But don't tell me I can't do something that just happens naturally in my brain. It just so happens, you know, I'm a pretty liberal guy and I don't care the way people look. But I still actively make a judgment on someone. Oh man, you look tired. Are you tired today? Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, well, there you go. Oh no, I'm not. You know, I went out drinking last night. I mean, it's something we all do naturally. Very right, Rob, says Nessa. Exactly, Rob. We're all human, and it's a human condition. Exactly. Dolores is here. Normal is somehow a statistic concept. Oof, interesting, Dolores. Interesting stuff. My God, friends, you guys are on fire today. You're all going to get a collective.
ProBoh approved.
All right. Should we get into the results of the poll, my friends? Okay, so on Instagram, they said 74% of you said true. It is a normal thing. It's a normal thing. So, yeah, we all seem to know that. But what did you guys, the decision makers who are watching the show live, what did you guys think? Let's get a little drum roll, shall we? You said 72%. It's normal to judge someone based on their appearance. True. Well done. So yeah, if we see, this is the thing for me. If we recognize that is truly the case, and it's not the fact that our brains are just wired to make judgments or to make conclusions, let's say. I think the problem here is that we say judgments, right? But actually what we're doing is we're coming to conclusions based upon information. I don't think the problem is that our brains are wired that way. I don't think we should feel bad because this happens. I think the deal here is to change people's hearts and minds so those conclusions aren't so wrong, right? Being a member of kind of, again, I'm going to go back to my own case here, of the heavy metal community. I see someone with a ton of tattoos and long hair. I don't immediately think, oh, this guy is a delinquent of some kind. Or my immediate thought, to be honest with you, is this guy must be a musician of some kind. You know, I bet I would enjoy a night out with this person. So I think the key here is not the fact that we do make snap judgments, but to be making sure as a society that those outcomes of those conclusions are to a net positive for as many people as possible. Does that make sense? How do we do that? Well, through education, through exposure to different cultural groups, you know, through exposure to different cultures and cultural experiences. But to say that our brains are wired wrong when we all live in the same practically the same bodies, especially when it comes to the way our brains work, I think that's a very reductive argument, because the issue is actually a lot more complex than you shouldn't make judgments or come to conclusions based on a first impression, because that's just how our brains work. So there you go, guys. What else? We have a few more. We're vision-based animals. We're going to react to the quickest visual stimuli. Correct, man. Besides, sometimes the judgment is right. Also an accurate point there by Yaccarino. Guys, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite unpopular opinions in a while. Good job, my friends. Let's go to today's 100 Humans. Woo! Oh my God, friends, it was a long walk to the studio today, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Today's question was to name a symptom, spelled incorrectly there, I see it. Name a symptom that would cause you to say, I think I'm coming down with something. For my non-native listeners, coming down with something is kind of... it's un frase hecha. It means I'm getting ill. I think I'm ill. I think I'm starting to become ill. So name a symptom that would cause you to say, I think I'm coming down with something. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the 7 most popular answers right here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. Oh, guys, you're on a roll already. Min is not a fan of the 100 humans. Hey, Min. Hang on. Ur says, our appearance is the first thing you see when you meet someone. For better or for worse, all of us have some sort of prejudice. It might be kind of defense mechanism to judge people based for their exterior appearances. Thank you for that, Urs. All right, let's get into it. Nessa says, a cough. A cough. Tos, right, in Spanish. I don't give myself a nivellazo if it's three letters or under. So is a cough there? Yes, it is. Well done. A cough is there. It is the second most popular answer, with 17 of 100 humans saying coughing. Coughing is something that would make me say, oof, I'm getting ill. I'm coming down with something. Okay, a stuffy nose. A stuffy nose. You know what? I'm going to give you that. Well done. Stuffy nose. Que tengo mocos, right? You say. Mojo is a sauce. I keep on getting... this is a common mistake for me in my Spanish. Mocos. So I've got a stuffy nose, or a runny nose is when, you need to blow your nose. A runny nose or a stuffy nose. Is it there? Yes, it is. It is... Min the Merciless, the number 1 answer. Congratulations to you, sir. Number 1 answer, runny nose. A runny nose. Then we have a sneezing. Sneezing, says Nessa. Wow, you guys, Nessa and Min got off to an early start. Sneezing. Is sneezing there? Well done. Oh, fire, guys. Sneezing. It's there. It's the 4th most popular answer, with 14 of 100 humans saying sneezing. Sneezing is estornudar or something? I can't remember. You'll tell me if that's right or wrong. So sneezing, well done. Min says a headache. A headache. A headache, or yeah, go on. You're going to get that too. Well done. Funnily enough, you said the adjective stuffy for a nose. Here I have a stuffy head. It's what the 100 humans... well, that's kind of like having a head that's just full, headache, that kind of thing. So well done, Min. It's there. It's the 6th most popular answer, with 9 of 100 humans saying a stuffy head, a headache. All right. Ur says tiredness. 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 It's not there. It's not there, Urs. I'm sorry. It's a great answer, though. You guys are missing 3, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's not there. It's not there. Okay, Jareom says, Jareom and the bridge both say a sore throat. Sore throat. I don't know how you say that in Spanish. Algo con la garganta, right? Something. A sore throat. A sore throat. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done to Jareom and the bridge. A sore throat is there. It is the 5th most popular answer, with 10 of 100 humans saying a sore throat. Well done. Two more to get. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to speed run a little bit of this. Itchy throat, sore throat. Coco was kind of there with a sore throat as well. Dizziness, says Jareom. Fatigue, to get up tired, says Alone Strong and Nessa. Sore muscles, sniffles, breathing difficulty. So Rob, you will say mojo picon. Stop smelling COVID times, says Coco. Erectile dysfunction, come on guys. None of those are there. Wap, wap, wap. But Nessa said something. Nessa said something right at the top of the list. She said a fever. A fever. Fiebre, I think you say in Spanish. You give me fever. Is it there? Is fever there? Of course it is. Fever's there. It is the 3rd most popular answer, with 14 of 100 humans saying a fever is a sign that you're getting ill. Okay, there's one more. Did I say fever? You did say fever. It's there. Headache, runny nose, tiredness, sore throat, says Vero. Okay, there's one. The last one you've got. It's a 7th most popular answer with 6 of 100 humans. But you're going to tell me, guys. Linked to a fever, I think. And part of a famous song from the musical Grease. I got blank, they're multiplying. And I'm losing control. I got blank, they're multiplying. But what does he have? Maybe the start of... Maybe he's coming down with something. Vero's got an answer. Nessa's got an answer. The bridge has got an answer. They all say, collectively, together, they say, chills. Is it chills? Of course it's chills. Well done, guys. All right, you did it. You killed it, guys. You only needed one clue. You are ill when you don't want to have sex, says Jerry.
ProBoh approved.
You know, the famous headache. We've all been there. It's love, says Nessa. All right, let's go through the list, my friends. So I asked 100 humans to name a symptom that would cause you to say, I think I'm coming down with something. I think I'm getting ill. Okay, in position number 7, we had chills, as you just identified. In position number 6, we had a stuffy head, headache, with 9 of 100 humans. In position number 5, we had a sore throat. A sore throat. In position number 4, we had sneezing. Sneezing. Estornudar. I got that right, in Spanish. In position number 3, we had a fever. A fever. You give me fever. In position number 2, we had coughing. Coughing. And finally, in position number 1, congratulations to, I can't remember who said it now. I think it was Min and, maybe it was just Min. Congratulations when you said runny nose, my friend, in position number 1. That's right. Well done. Estornudar. Okay, I'm sure that I'm just murdering the pronunciation, but it doesn't matter. All right, my friends, let's go to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
Ooh, friends, we're going to play Complete the News. If you're one of the many people who are watching the show, but you maybe feel a little nervous to express your opinions, as most of the community have been here for a while, this is your moment, friends, because all you have to do is write A, B, or C. Okay, I have 2 pieces of news today. Let's see, let's do the second one first, because it's a holdover from Friday's show. Let's do the second one first. Okay, so I'm going to give you a news headline, un titular, but I'm going to leave out some important information. So your job here is to complete the news based on the 3 options that I give you, A, B, or C. If you know the answer, don't spoil it. Just write A, B, or C. So here we go. First piece of news. A Missouri man, so a man from Missouri, says that American Airlines lost blank. Han perdido algo. They've lost something. And they won't pay him back. They won't reimburse him. So a Missouri man says American Airlines lost blank and won't pay him back. Is it A, $1 million in Bitcoin? Is it B, his prosthetic leg? So like a wooden leg or a device that helps him walk. His prosthetic leg. Or is it C, a vintage collection of Playboy magazines? So, yeah, a Missouri man says American Airlines lost blank and won't pay him back. Is it A, $1 million in Bitcoin, B, his prosthetic leg, or C, a vintage collection of Playboy magazines? Ooh, a wooden leg, Rob is a pirate. Or I don't know what they make them out of. Like plexiglass, I don't know. Sorry if you wear a prosthetic limb for my ignorance. Ooh, looks like C is in the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, C is definitely in the lead. 5. It's between B and C, says Vero. Ooh, okay. I think C seems to be in the lead, closely followed by B. So you guys think it's a vintage collection of Playboy magazines. Understood, my friends. Understood. Let's see if you're correct. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? This is a good piece of news, my friends. So, little drum roll. A Missouri man says American Airlines lost his prosthetic leg. Sorry, guys. Congratulations to Nessa and Coco for being the only people that say B, keeping their mind out of the gutter, pure and fresh. I love it. Although I completely understand why you said vintage collection of Playboy magazines. So yeah, this is a disabled man from Missouri, Michael Williams, that claims American Airlines lost his prosthetic leg valued at $26,000 during a flight in 2020 and has refused to reimburse him. Williams checked in a suitcase marked fragile containing the prosthetic in Indianapolis for a flight to Charlotte, but the leg never arrived. There you go. Be careful with your luggage, friends. Why was he... Can I just ask you a question? Why did he check it in? Why didn't he just wear it onto the plane? Maybe he had a couple. I don't know. I don't know, friends. All right, let's go back. We have enough time for the second one. In fact, time is irrelevant because, we're not on the radio today. So here we go. Next one. I think C is your doing, Rob. It's true. Me and the elves create the other 2 options. So here we go. A missing Australian woman survived on blank for 5 days in bushland. What's bushland? It's like the Australian wilderness in the middle of nothing. Okay? Australian woman survived on blank for 5 days in bushland. But what did she survive on? Was it A, bugs and rainwater? Bugs, like insects, and rainwater. Was it B, wine and candy? Vino y golosinas, I guess. Wine and candy. Or was it C, shoe leather? So the leather that shoes are made out of. And river water. Agua del Rio. Ooh, tough one today. Piece of news 1 is tough one today. I understand that. Okay, here we go. A missing Australian woman survived on blank for 5 days in bushland. Was it A, bugs and rainwater, B, wine and candy, C, shoe leather, and river water? Let's see, we've got A, B, B, A, B. Ooh, friends. Seems like B is in the lead. Yeah, I like how much you trust me. I like how much you're thinking there's no way Rob invented wine and candy. Even though that describes his diet to a T. B is better, says Eugene. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, it's a tie between... Oh, no. B is in the lead. B is in the lead. Okay, are we settling on B, my friends? I think we are. All right. So, a missing Australian woman survived on... You got it, guys. Wine and candy. Well done. She survived on wine and candy for 5 days in the bushland. Dude, that's just a weekend for me. This woman basically took a weekend retreat. Oh, dear. So a 48-year-old Australian woman named Lillian survived for 5 days in dense Mitta bushland in Victoria after getting lost and her vehicle getting stuck in mud. Due to a lack of cell service, like mobile phone coverage, and health issues that limited her mobility, she was unable to call for help or walk out of the forest. However, she managed to survive on a few snacks, some candy, and a bottle of wine she had in the car. She was living her best life, lost in the bushland, and you know what?
ProBoh approved.
I approve this message. Good for her, says Eugene. She was found drunk, says Jareo. What? I've never been in the bushland. All right, my friends, that's the end of today's show. Thank you for joining me today. If you're one of the live listeners, don't worry. I'll be back at my regular time, 8:30 in the studio with the Natch tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much. So many things you could have been doing today, but instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. See you soon, friends.